sometimes when we get together with an artist, wine is involved.
It's very, very good wine.
Miss Susan Giacona.
Yay! She has come to Waxahachie bearing
Gifts.
fruit of the gods.
Yes, fruit of the gods.
Well, okay, if you say so.
That's
Me,
it.
me being a non-drinker is going to have to take your word for it, but welcome.
Mm.
Sure, I'm glad to have you here.
And I'm really, really, really glad to be here.
We had kind of a crazy afternoon waiting on musicians to come and everything else, but we got to spend some time with the dogs and cats and Bird and
The birds.
Emma.
Your bird was imitating
And
me.
Miss Emma,
and
Emma,
Miss
you
Emma.
can sit on my
Yep.
lap. You can be in my
Yeah,
interview. This
Emma
is my
was-
interview buddy tonight.
Yep.
So tell us, where were you born and raised? Let's start there.
I was born in Houston, and my parents moved to the Woodlands when I was little to get us out of, because Houston was starting to just be this sprawling city. But I spent actually every weekend of my childhood in East Texas, either in Rusk or in Grapeland.
Okay, so you're far East Texas.
Yeah.
I love that hill, big hill going into Rusk. I remember
Yes,
that going
yes,
down
yes. So
there.
I love that area. There's a studio up there that I use, actually, Chad Malden Productions. He's working on some things for me, and I love that drive because I get to drive through my college town, my mom's town, and my dad's town.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, born in Houston, where did you start your music career?
Well, I come from a musical family.
Okay, that was going to be the next question.
Yes. So it was just kind of expected, and I actually posted a story on Facebook the other day because I started talking with somebody about having drive and initiative, and I'd actually kind of forgotten about something that happened when I was I think I was 7 or 8, and right somewhere in there. And you asked me where I started. Well, I started in church. And so there was a revival going on. Yeah, of course, y'all know what a revival is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So on Facebook, I explained what a revival is. So for y'all that don't know what a revival is, it's a little more food, a little more music, a little more rock and music, a little more Jesus. You get a little more
Randy
Jesus.
And Helen's, Randy and Helen's wedding.
Yeah. And there's, bouncy houses, in the church parking lot. Okay, so the preacher announced that every night of the revival, whomever brought the most visitors would get this beautiful green leather-bound Bible with this gold writing on it. And I wanted that Bible because I wanted to walk into Sunday school like Miss Astor because... that's not Miss Disaster. That's Miss Astor. Like Miss Thang. I wanted to be Miss Thang because my Bible had pictures in it. It was a little kid Bible, and I wanted the grown-up Bible. So I was telling my mom that I wanted that, and she goes, well, why don't you go ask the neighbors to go to church with us? So I didn't just ask the neighbors to go to church with us. I asked everybody on our street. And then it happened to be a night that I was singing at church. So I was singing Sweet, Sweet Spirit. So... I ended up getting most everybody on our street to go to church with us. So the first person stood up in the back when he said, well, who brought visitors? And the first person stood up and he had, a couple people. And the next person stood up, he had 4 people or so. Mm-hmm. And then I stood up and all my visitors took up 2 rows.
Yeah.
And he goes, what? So I went up and got my Bible and I sang Sweet, Sweet Spirit. So
cool.
I packed the house and I got paid.
Even better. Do you still have the Bible?
I do still have the Bible.
I bet you do.
I sure do.
That's awesome.
I still have it.
You earned it.
Yeah, I did. But anyway, so I started in church. I know that was a long way around your question,
And
but
did you sing when you were in high school?
oh yes, I was in a cappella choir. I went to all the competitions. I was all state, all region, all that.
But you sang in a more of an environment that had guidelines.
Oh,
Did
yes.
you play in a band or anything?
I was in band in junior high school.
No, but I mean like a band in growing up.
Oh yes, yes. I always had a
country
band.
Or country
Yes,
or
I always
rock
had a
band.
band. No, we were a rock band. Yes, we played rock music.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
When you today, what they consider rock and what we consider rock may be a different thing?
No, it was rock. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was a rock band.
She knows what rock is.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I had an incredible music teacher named Mrs. Betty Rowe, and we still keep in touch. And she was my choir director for part of junior high, and then all of high school. And she was very strict, and her standards were quite high, and she pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed you. So. But
That's
she
what
was
turned Miss Susan into the perfectionist that she is to this
Thank
day.
you, Helen. I appreciate that.
Mhm.
So I will make sure that Miss Rose sees this interview. She's an incredible human being. She's done so much for kids and kids with their music, and she's so supportive. She always wants to hear what I have going on and everything for now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she
Don't
is.
you wish that all teachers were that way?
Absolutely.
We would all be so smart and
Yes.
so talented.
Yes, but she loved what she did, and it showed. And she was tough, but we're all glad for it now.
Yeah.
So she got you into all of this in a left-handed sort of way, but what got you into writing?
Well, wait, let me back up. She helped me set my standards,
Oh, okay.
but then my family was also musical, and my sister, my middle sister, who was actually killed in kind of a freak accident. Her car rolled down her driveway and killed her. She was my music partner. She was just this incredible pianist. Her name was Karen. And so Karen and I were always doing projects together. And so Karen and I always would do something, and then we would try to do it just a little bit better. And so we were always singing together. So between my sister and all other people in my family and Mrs. Rowe, there was just always something going on with me. Yeah, always.
Are you the only writer in the family, or was there multiple?
No, my sister was a writer, the one that died. I'm the youngest of three girls, and the sister that's gone. She was an incredible writer. She actually won. I can't remember the name of the competition, but it was basically the junior division of the Dove Awards. The Christian Music Awards. She was in Steamboat Springs for that, and she played and sang and wrote, the song that she went out there for.
So did she get you into writing? Did she start you writing, or how did you start writing?
No. In all honesty, I started writing because of kind of a strange little event. I ended up being at this not long after because my sister and my mom died really, really close together. So it was quite a stressful time.
Yeah.
And I had this black tie event that I had to go to with my family. And and I had to get all my children in Texas, and everybody had to be picture perfect. And it was just quite a busy weekend. And then after we got home, and that Monday, I was just exhausted from that prior weekend. And I laid down and took a nap, which I never do. And when I got up from that nap, a song was just in my head, and I thought, well, where's this? And it just started just to flow, and I had to get up to go pick up my youngest boy from school, and I said, angels must be waking me up to dance. Angels waking me up to dance. Why would the angels be waking me up to dance? And I thought, okay, well, that's interesting. So then that just stuck in my head, and it ended up becoming a song that I've been requested to sing all over my community at some special events. And it ended up being a song about my parents, who one of my best memories was my parents. I got chillbumps telling you this. My parents would get the furniture, take the furniture out to the wall of the living room and show us how they could dance, how they jitterbug. And all this. And so we thought it was just the corniest thing, just so, y'all are gonna dance again, okay. And but now it's one of my absolute best memories.
Yeah.
And so the song is that my mom and my dad both told me not to worry about them, because they knew where they were going to be when they died. And my mom sang that I'll dance with your daddy again.
Aww.
Yeah, so it ended up being the angels are waking me up to dance with your daddy again.
Aww.
Yeah.
Way cool.
Yeah.
Yep. So this has been a total gift for you.
It has been a gift, and after it started flowing, it just started coming. I mean, it just it was just a faucet I couldn't turn off.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I ended up, I wrote a song for somebody that goes and talks to children about how their words can really hurt. And this woman that I know, her child, Peyton James, Jackie James is the mom. Peyton James, he's 13, and he committed suicide after being basically bullied so intensely. So I wrote a song for her just so that she could use it for her presentations. And they ended up doing a documentary about children that have been bullied to the point of, taking their own lives. And the producer heard it and loved it and wanted to use it in the movie. So it's in his film. And it's called Silent Warriors. And then another film came along. And then another film came along. And then artists started cutting my songs.
Oh, wow.
And just one thing right after the other. And it's only been 2.5 years. And there's just been a really a lot of good things happening. I'm in another film this summer called Destiny that I wrote the closing credits song for, and I actually have a small role in the film as a saloon girl that sings. Yeah.
I might be able to picture that.
Yeah.
So I'll be wearing a corset for that.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's really neat. You've
Is it-
just been so blessed.
Have you ever been in a movie before?
I'm gonna be in a movie. I've been in some commercials when I was modeling and doing things for my agent who sends me work like that. But the actual speaking role in a movie, that'll be this summer. And I have to go to Reno to do this in
Where
the
I was
desert.
born.
Yep. So I'm sure it'll be 150,000 degrees there.
No,
But it's a dry
no,
heat.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's not Las Vegas. No, Reno's not Vegas. It's not like Las Vegas. Expect different. Pay attention to the weather. It's not going to be like Las Vegas.
It's going to be hot, Randy.
It could be.
Yeah. There's going to be some cosmetics melting.
You're going to be outside doing this shoot?
Yeah.
Is
Oh,
it
yeah,
outside
yes,
shoot?
yes, in an old west town. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm.
Oh, they'll have a makeup
Oh, they've got a
crew
bunch
just
of
Oh.
cool towns.
powdering you every
They,
second.
Yeah.
That makes sense now because they have a lot of cool old ghost town type things
Yes.
near Reno and Carson City.
Mm-hmm. Yes, except
On
that
that
I'm going
side
to
of the
want to walk
state.
around with one of those spritzers, with the little fan going.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
they'll
know.
have them out there. I
Yeah.
bet you.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
bet. So you've got involved in your writing. You got involved in film. Where do you want to be in all this? When all the dust settles, where would you like to see yourself? Where would your footprint be, other than here? You're leaving it here tonight.
Well, I really like writing for films, and the other films that I've done work for, they actually told me a story, and then I wrote a song based on that. So just to, for a concept, and then writing a song to spec.
Mhm.
And and people like that when they tell you a story and then all of a sudden you come back with a song
Right.
that's basically
Right.
nothing of what they actually said, but what they said in other words put to music.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of fun to
But
watch
you get
that.
their feelings out there.
Yeah,
You
and
kind of tag into their feelings.
and you get to watch that come to life.
So that's the thing that pushes you to the hardest. Where do you plan on featuring your music the most? What kind of venues?
Well, I want to start doing more live performances, and I have an opportunity to tour this summer with a songwriter, and then I've also been asked to tour the UK. So
Oh,
and I'm doing some USO shows too with concerts West One.
Just get out there.
Mhm.
Just like every other songwriter, get out there and do the shows. Go out there and let people see you've got a lot of talent.
The UK loves American artists and songwriters.
And especially in the country or rhythm and blues field.
Yes. Yeah. So this particular artist, he lives in Nashville, but his career is really in the UK, even though he's an American.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
he
yeah.
tours 3 times a year, and he's asked me to do that with him. And we haven't worked out all the details of the show, but I'm not going to say no.
Oh, just wing it, girl. It'll
I'll
be
wing
fun.
it.
You just do it.
Yeah, yeah,
Now, you mentioned you have sons.
I do.
How many?
I have 3 boys, and they are just the light of my life.
What
Are
age?
they grown or are they still young?
The little one just turned 6.
Oh, you got little ones.
Yeah. He's a little character. He wants to be. He told me the other day he wants to be a rock star. So
Alright.
not quite sure what that means, but we'll see. And then the middle one is 13, and the oldest one just graduated from college.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
Wonderful.
they're all
You got them
spread out.
a little bit too.
Yep. I had the first one. I had him when I was still a kid, and I have to remind him sometimes that I'm his mom and not his friend.
Anything musical going on with these boys?
Well, the middle one is in theater, and he's actually pretty good. And the little one, he memorizes songs that I write and sings them back to me. And I can't believe how quick he can pick up on things.
Wow.
And so there's something there with that. The fact that he can hear me play a couple things and sing a couple things that he's never heard before, and then sing it back to me.
Yeah.
There's
great.
something with that.
Now,
He's
when he
into
sings
it.
it back, does he sing it with that rock edge?
Oh, yes. No, but he does want to go upstairs and get into the costume drawer to have a costume to sing it in. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. So.
You have a
he's gonna-
costume
he's
drawer.
gonna
Not
be a-
everybody's got
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we have a costume.
Theatrical
That's
rock
right.
and roll musician.
Exactly. And it was a costume drawer. Now it's a costume box, like a big, huge costume box.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's great.
In your music career today is happening. It was going really fast, obviously. Do you think a year from now that you'll be branching out and touring around the USA much? You talked about maybe going to the UK and doing a little songwriter thing, but I mean, do you? Where would you like to go in touring? and
Well,
play
let's see.
your music?
Last year I played in New York, and I loved that, so I want to go back to New York. Yes, so I absolutely see myself touring the country to do different shows. And what I'd love is if the films that I'm working for get really popular and well known, and I'd love to be able to put on a show with songs that I've written for films.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We had John McEwen in here a few years ago from the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, and he.
Oh, I saw them actually on the roof of Warner in Nashville. They were receiving an award.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, one of the shows we did with John was strictly about music and film because he'd been involved in it for so long, and so we love to see that. We've also got another good friend in Randy Roberts who's good having some success in films out of Granbury, Texas. I need to get y'all together too
Nice,
because he's always
very
looking
nice.
for things. So,
Oh yeah.
man, it's just been great having you come out.
Well, y'all are just some of the most hospitable people that I have ever met in my life,
Oh,
and I really,
thank you.
really appreciate it. I feel so at
You
home
make
here,
it easy.
and your friends are just as awesome. So it's
They
not
are,
it's
I
not
think.
just because I brought wine, right? That's not
No,
just
no.
They were awesome before the wine.
Yeah. Oh.
And if they're awesome after the wine, you got a good deal.
Exactly.
Yes.
But seriously, I appreciate everything y'all are doing. Y'all are just doing. The room is incredible. Y'all having, the sound guys back there, and I mean, what a thing that y'all are doing for artists. Really, I don't take that for granted at all.
Well,
That's a real
thank you.
gift that
Thank
you're
you.
giving people.
Well, we're honored that you appreciate that too.
Yep.
And the great thing is we've all been able to come in here tonight and get together, and we're in the music room.
It's a beautiful room.
It's a wrap.